Here is how to make $1,000 in 1 week on eBay. Chapter 1, Getting Started. One of the hardest things to get to grips with when you start out on your internet marketing career is that money is quite easy to come by if you put your mind to it. As workers, we're told from an early age that we must work for our money and that hard work equates to financial reward. Rubbish. Complete and utter rubbish. How long would it take you to raise $1,000 now? I've mentioned in previous books how I've seen grown men in tears because they needed a little extra cash and couldn't conceive how they would get it. To them, an extra $1,000 might as well be an extra 10 million. So would you have to work overtime for a month of two? Would you have to max out your credit card or go cap in hand to the bank? Listen, $1,000 in small change compared to the money you could make from internet marketing and joint ventures. I'm going to show you how you can bring in over $1,000 time after time in around 2 days. Maybe 2 weeks if you're starting from absolute scratch and need a little preparation work. Please let me explain. A little while ago I sent an email to an eBay seller. It was a very informal email. It started with the word "Hey." Not very professional, I agree, but it was exactly what was required, because the following 48 hours resulted in me banking $2,500, well, it actually went into my PayPal account than my bank account a few days later. Unfortunately, only half this money was mine, but still not bad for 2 days' work. The eBay seller was someone I'd never contacted before. A total stranger except for the fact that I knew of him because I'd spent some time browsing the listings. Still, I had no doubt that he would reply, even if it was a polite no. In reality, there was little chance of a no. Really. Would you say no to an email that suggested you could make a lump sum in 2 days from your own product? At the very least, you'd want to hear more. Don't worry, this will all make sense soon. So, my new eBay seller friend replied and we quickly sorted out a 50-50 split on a deal, and I spent an hour or so writing another email. I also set a few other things up. A website, PayPal button and a download page. Took another couple of hours. I'll give you the wording for the second email too. Now I wrote the second email out to a list of people I had recently amassed from eBay. I clicked the send button, then went upstairs to the kitchen. My home is over 4 floors. I poured myself a chilly glass of wine, then came back down to my PC and opened my email software, so I could watch the emails that I was now expecting to come in real time. 20 minutes passed, and I got a little worried. From past experience, there was usually only 10 minutes or so before I saw a result. I wandered away from the PC to feed the cats. It took about 5 minutes. When I got back to my PC, I had a nice surprise. It's a screenshot of the first 25 emails I received. They all came in within half an hour of me pressing my send button. I've smudged the email addresses of the people who sent payments for obvious reasons. The first 25 emails were from people who were actually sitting at their PCs when my email arrived. Most people weren't at their computers when my emails arrived. Those people checked their inboxes over the next day or so. Over the next 48 hours, the payment emails didn't stop. In total, when 2 days were up, I checked my PayPal account and found I had made just over £2,530. After deducting PayPal fees, I sent half of this to my eBay seller friend, who was incredibly happy to receive it, who wouldn't be? And took a couple of days off to go shopping. And that's it. Chapter 2, Understanding Joint Ventures and eBay Sellers. What's IT? You ask. I'm going to show you how you can make a lot of money by undertaking JV, joint ventures, with eBay sellers. You won't need to have a product, just a list of people to email to offer the product to. Or if you do have a product, you can find a good seller to sell it for you. Why should they buy it? Because it'll be a quality product, you'll have sourced it from eBay, and you'll be offering it at a vastly discounted price that they cannot get anywhere else. If you've ever seen this best-selling ebook, eBay Auction Income Streams, www.jobhaters.com advertised, you'll know it sells from most websites and on eBay for $24.99. Now imagine if you really wanted the book and you received an email from a trustworthy buyer you'd bought from before who offered you this best-selling ebook for just $12.99. You'd jump at the chance, and that's how this system works. And boy, does it work well. This ebook is going to tell you how to set up your own JV, joint venture, with another person. Don't worry, there's no need for telephone calls, unless you want to, it's all done by email. It's just a matter of identifying someone with a list of people to sell to, if you're a product holder, or someone with a great product to sell, if you're a list holder. Then you just send them a simple email. I was extremely nervous when I first approached a well-known marketer to ask if he'd like to undertake a JV with me. I was positive he'd either laugh at me or blast me for wasting his time. But ask yourself, if you got approached, how would you react? If someone told you could make a lot of money from your own product and all you had to do was agree to sell it below market price, you could then watch TV until your payment of maybe £3,000 arrived. How would you feel? I would be both flattered and grateful. Of all the JVs I've undertaken, and they make up a substantial part of my yearly income, I've not once been turned down. Never. And that's not because of my business reputation. I've done JVs under different names and through different email addresses when the need has arisen. All this is perfectly above board, by the way, since it all goes into the same PayPal account for tax via different email addresses. I'll tell you how to do that later, too. It helps you separate your JV money from any other sales you might have. It's like doing a bungee jump. The first one is the hardest. Unlike a bungee jump, you end up not with wet pants but with a few £100 at least in your pocket. Chapter 3, Setting Up Joint Ventures. Why would anyone want to do a JV with me? A joint venture, henceforth called a JV, is just a business undertaking, a deal where you split the takings. It usually, almost always, comes about when two people have skills or products that complement each other. You probably have more skills than you know, but I'm not going to start telling you to reach down deep inside your soul to find your inner value when what you really want is a quick grand or so in the bank. So, for now we'll concentrate on two things. Any one of these two items are enough for you to make hundreds if not thousands from a JV. 1. A product you already own or have rights to. 2. A list of people who may want to buy a product. Now I realize that not many people reading this will not have their own ebook, or software. But you may well have or be able to get hold of a product to which you have resale rights. If you can do that, then a JV may well work for you as a product holder. If you also have a list of people who have bought from you, or even better, have a mailing list, then you're in the best possible position. I'll show you how to go about a JV from both angles. I think the best approach to go is firstly to tell you how my latest JV worked. My latest JV. Now I've done JVs from both angles, as a person with a product and as a person with a list. I'm lucky enough to have a product and a list, but once I've sold my product to my own list, it's time to start looking around for other buyers, and this is where I need other sellers, usually eBay sellers. So I can sell to their lists too. What do the other sellers get out of the deal? 50%. Always. I've heard of different splits, but I think if you take on a partner, you take on a partner, and egos or tantrums don't come into it. If I tried to demand 75% as a power seller or internet marketer with a reputation, I'd soon end up with no JV partners at all. My advice would be to always treat your JV partner as an equal, even if you've far more experience. Even if you think your product is the greatest, most in-demand widget ever and your partner only has a list of 50 people, you still go 50-50 on the deal. Happy JV partners come back to deal with you time and time again. If you've made them feel small or unimportant, they won't want to repeat the process even if they've made money from it. Years ago, when I was working in a poorly paid factory job and in a bad way financially, I was forced to take on extra work. The new landlord of a local pub had just opened a children's play area and wanted to promote the facility by getting a bouncy castle and face painters, etc. for the afternoon. I agreed to work in a tiny burger van selling food to the families who attended. We worked out a price for an 8-hour day, $20 cash in hand. I was broke, so agreed to work for the $20. It was a hot August day and the heat in the tiny burger van was almost intolerable, but it meant I could pay the gas bill, so I stuck at it. 2 hours before closing, the landlord came to me and said he had to go out for the rest of the day, so would play me now. He thrust a $10 bill into my hand. When I told him we'd agreed $20, he just told me he knew I needed the money, so take it or leave it. I felt humiliated and angry. He left, and I spent the rest of the day giving away free food to the whole of the pub, especially the lads who turned up to watch the football. The landlord must have lost hundreds in missed takings. I still badmouth the pub whenever I get the chance. He must have lost the $10 he shortchanged me with 1,000 times over, and if I've anything to do with it, he'll lose twice as much again. The old saying that you should be nice to people on the way up because you'll meet them again on the way down has a habit of becoming true. So, going back to my latest JV. I had no product to sell, so I had a quick look around eBay. I start by looking at power sellers who sell their own product. It's no good me offering David Blaine's Magic Secrets because most people already own it, and those that don't can buy it on eBay for under $1. So, I need someone who either has control of, or has written their own ebook or software. By control of, I mean legal rights to resell the product. If you're the one supplying the list, don't be afraid of asking for proof that they actually have the rights they claim, or you could both get into real trouble. Anyone legit won't be offended. It shows your professionalism and protects both of you. Back on eBay, I settle down with a cup of coffee and start going through the listings and the categories that interest me. I actually found the seller whose product I thought best suited my list within 10 minutes, but I carried on looking and found 2 more eBay sellers who had suitable products. I didn't contact them but jotted their details down for future reference. They'll make up part of my income for the future. The product I found was similar enough to my own products to be of interest to my list, but different enough, so it wasn't in direct competition with my own. I have sold totally different products that have worked incredibly well. You'll get a feel for what your list will go for after a while. When you're looking for a product, it's important that you offer it to your list at a significantly lower price than it sells for on eBay. Or choose a product that can't be found anywhere else than directly from you. The latter only really applies if it's your product. The product I'd found for this particular JV sold for $25 on eBay. I estimated the seller was earning around $200 a week from his product. It was selling quite well, but not enough for him to turn down any extra income. I sent him an email. Hiya. I noticed your product on eBay and wondered if you'd like to make some extra money from it. I have a mailing list of people I'm sure would be interested in your product if we could offer it to them at the right price. If all goes to plan, it should take about 2 days to get the money into your PayPal account. Drop me an email if you're at all interested. Your name. X. The next day I received an email asking for more details. I offered a 50-50 split and we agreed that his product should be offered for $12.99 to one of my lists. Very rarely you'll try to deal with a JV partner who won't offer his product at a lower price. All he can see is lost profit. In reality, he's actually gaining because he's getting paid for sales he otherwise wouldn't be making. If he still refuses to drop the price, forget the JV. You must offer great deals to your list or they won't stick with you. So my new JV partner had the product, which he'd agreed to sell at half the price, and I had the list of potential buyers. The list in question was one I'd populated by offering a free ebook. All they had to do to obtain was to agree to receive very occasional offers from me, then enter their email address. In short, it was an opt-in list. The names on the list had all opted to be contacted by me for at least one future offer. They could unsubscribe at any time. I'll show you how to set up a page like this later. I had used eBay as part of the publicity for my free ebook and got about 600 names in about 2 or 3 weeks. It sounds a lot, but when I tell you that some of the big boys in internet marketing won't send out an offer to a list with less than 10,000 names, it puts it into perspective. Although with a list of this size they're allowing for a poor sales rate. I've successfully mailed a list of just 100 people in the past. So, don't worry about size too much. I think that if you offer a genuinely great offer at a price that can't be found anywhere else, then you're looking at a 1 in 3 or even better sales rate. The experts will disagree with me, but the proof is in the pudding, and I've had sales rates of 70% and above. The JV in this example fits the above criteria, so I think we're on to a winner. I tell this to my new JV partner to reassure him about selling his product for less than he normally would. Incidentally, if you're wondering why he agreed to sell his $25 product for half price, then the answer is simply this. Firstly, it's an e-product so it costs him nothing to send out or copy. Secondly, he's not losing half his profit dash. He's getting 50% of $12.99 for each sale that he wouldn't have had if he hadn't agreed to the JV with me. Thirdly, I told him he'd probably make a couple of £1,000 in a matter of days. The split was 50% each after any PayPal fees had been taken out. So, for each sale I get roughly $6 and my JV partner gets roughly $6. The rest goes on PayPal fees. So, what happens is once the JV is over I total up the takings, deduct any fees that are left and send him half. Most fees are deducted before the money hits my PayPal account, but there are always the currency conversions plus any dodgy credit cards to be deducted. The email I send to my list read: "Hello. I'm emailing you because you kindly opted into one of my mailing lists asking to receive details of any special offers I might have. I am currently working with, producer of. This amazing product sells for $25 on eBay, but I am able to offer it to you for just $12.99. If this offer is of interest to you, you can find out more details at www.com. If you would like to unsubscribe from this list, just click on the link below. Thanks." The website is one I've specially set up from where my list can buy the product at $12.99. I put on a PayPal button that I'll remove when the offer is over, and I'll also shut down the site. I could just as easily direct them to my JV partner's own website where he could have changed the price from $25 to $12.99, but then he would have lost any $25 sales that would have come from his own marketing, so he preferred me to do it. So now we've come to the point where this ebook started. I pressed send and went to get some wine. Over the next 2 days we sold about 200 copies of his product, bringing us a profit of over $2,500. Once sales had tailed off I did as above. Shut down the site and sent him half the money. I also sent him a screenshot of my PayPal account showing the number of sales that had come in along with a record of the stats from a counter I'd put on the page. I didn't have to because the whole thing has to be a trustworthy venture, or it wouldn't work. But I prefer to undertake my JVs in this way. You'll understand this if you're the person being sent the lump sum after the JV. So that's it, $1,200 for 2 days' work. I didn't sell a single product, and I have a happy JV partner who will be delighted to work with me again. There are easier ways to do a JV than setting up websites though. Chapter 4, The Joint Venture Process. Here's an overview. I don't like flowcharts, but this one helps me when I'm putting together my own JV mailings. How to undertake a successful JV with little or no experience. First of all, you need to decide which side of the JV you are on. Are you the person who will provide the product or the list? Providing the product. Quickly recapping, if you have your own product, that you created or own sole rights to, or you have resell rights to a product that isn't readily available elsewhere, if it is it won't sell, then you can look at a JV from the point of view of the product provider. Browse eBay and look for a seller. A power seller will probably have a very good mailing list and be open to undertaking JVs. Anyone who sells quite a few items per day or week is also a good bet. If you're not sure, ask. You will probably come across quite a few eBay sellers who don't know what you're talking about when you mention joint ventures. eBay has more than its fair share of people who sell from home and got lucky, but never look any further than eBay. The notion of a JV to these people may seem odd. My advice would be to point them towards this ebook, Sales for Me, or spend time explaining in more details what they'll get out of it. Don't focus too much on the actual JV. Just on the fact that they could be $1,000 richer by Monday morning. When you're looking for a seller, also bear in mind that a similar product to the one you're selling would probably be a good idea as long as it's not directly competing. Check his feedback rating too. It's a reflection of how he runs his business. When you've found a seller you like the look of, as far as you can tell from his auction and About Me pages, you need to make the initial approach. All it takes is a simple email. It's best not to try to sell the whole project in a first email. If they're interested, and they usually are, they'll get back to you and you can send a follow-up email about price and the logistics of the venture. Chapter 5, Getting Set Up. You will obviously need a PayPal account, but these are easily set up. If you use eBay, you'll probably have one already. The best way to sell your product is to set up a temporary website, with a PayPal button, that you can direct your customers to. GeoCities is an option for this. You can use the website to take payments for 2 days, then take it off the net. Once this is set up, you can draft an email to your customers directing them to the website. Your JV partner then sends the email that you composed out to his list. And you wait for payments. You must agree before the venture starts who sets up the website and delivers the product, and who sends the emails. The person who owns the list must send the emails. This is because of spam issues mentioned earlier. Otherwise, he would have to send his list to his partner, and that could lead to list theft. It's not until you've actually undertaken a JV that you'll realize how incredibly powerful and lucrative these deals are. I can think of no better way to bring in a nice cash boost in a very short amount of time. Now there has to be an amount of trust in these ventures. There's no getting around the fact that one of you has to take the payments. There might be a way of splitting each payment 50-50 as it comes in, probably using ClickBank, www.clickbank.com, or some other payment service. If anyone knows how to do this on PayPal, please let me know. In any case, this will probably cost, and the whole point about JVs in my view is that they're easy to set up and can be over and done within a couple of days, cash in your bank and a smile on your face. I will say that I've never had a problem with a JV either when I've been the one taking the money, or my JV partner has been the one taking the money. Just split everything 50-50 at the end of the venture and there will be no problem. Success is based on honesty, unless you're a politician. Earnings from each individual JV you undertake can be easily separated from each other by firstly adding an email address to your PayPal account. Then accepting payments to this email address only from the PayPal button you use in your JV. Once the JV is over, you can see all the payments that have been received to that email address by going to PayPal. It's not necessary, but it's a nice touch. I also set up a counter on my website to show how many people have accessed the download page. This isn't totally accurate, as many people download more than once if the download is interrupted, or occasionally pass on the download link to a friend to get the product without paying. This is rare though, and a counter does give a reasonable idea of how much money has been taken. You can set up a free counter by going to www.statcounter.com. It's invisible to your customers, and you can share login details to the StatCounter website with your JV partner so he can see for himself how many download page accesses there have been. That way he'll have a rough idea of how much money to expect. Once the payments have come in, total it up, deduct any fees, then send your JV partner half. If you're declaring your income to the tax people, then get a receipt from your JV partner for the money you send. Otherwise, when you do your yearly accounts, it'll look like you earned $2,500 in 2 days rather than half that amount, and you'll have to pay tax on it. If you don't want to set up a website to sell the product, you can ask, in your first email, your list to email you for further details of your product if they're interested. Then send them more details of the product and your email address to pay you directly by PayPal. They'll use the send money option from their account. Once you've received the payment, you can email them the book as an attachment. I wouldn't recommend this option purely because it's a lot of work, but if you really can't get your head around putting together a simple website, then it's an option. A better option is to ask your JV partner to do it. Even better, put some work in and use the GeoCities tutorial. It's free, and once you've learned how it works, you'll have the skills to put a website together each time you do a JV. Failing that, you could use the members free space that comes with your ISP, AOL or FreeServe or whichever. Again, they'll provide you with a tutorial. Invest in yourself, learn how to put together a free website. Finally, there is a company called http://www. Master Resale Rights.com that I use on a daily basis. They sell ebooks, software and other downloads for as little as 1 cent. At that price you can't go wrong. Their collection is fantastic. All you do is pick up some private label rights products, relabel them with your own name, and sell them for whatever price that you want. You get to keep 100% of everything that you make, no JV partners to share with. You can then be the JV initiator and get people to sell your products. Look after your JV partner. Make sure they receive their 50% promptly and in full. In that way they'll be more than happy to work with you again. Remember, they've just received over $1,000 for what amounts to sending an email. Chapter 6, Proving the List in a Joint Venture. This is probably the most applicable scenario for those of you reading this ebook. You have no list and no product, but you want to earn money from a JV. Fine. Here's how to do it. Go through your email address book and see how many contacts you already have that you can send offers to. This will basically be anyone you've already sold to on eBay. This means there is an existing business relationship there. It might take a couple of weeks to build up a list if you've not already got one, but as the internet gurus say, the gold is in the list, and once you've got it, treat it like a valuable asset, because it is, and it'll provide you with an income if you play it well. It's a good value, quality ebook that originally sold for $19.99 that is now available for free. All I ask in return is that you join my mailing list by giving me your email address. You can unsubscribe at any item from the list, but my hope is that once you see the offers I mail to you, you'll stay with it. Now, the better quality the product, the more people will subscribe to your list. It's worth buying a good quality ebook or software package that you are allowed to give away and not just sell, to maximize your list. Obviously, there are a lot of freebies out there. A good idea is to bundle a large, good value collection together and give it away to anyone who opts into your list. Check the license page first to see if you're allowed to give it away as well as sell it. If not, you'll get into trouble. Using eBay to build a list. eBay rules and regulations are a little hazy on this subject, but I've never had any trouble personally. It all comes down to their links policy. Basically, the eBay links policy has recently changed. You cannot now link to any other website other than your home page, and then only if it only contains a further description of the item you're selling on eBay. So, it seems you can't link to your web page if it has an option to download the ebook you're selling on eBay for free in return for joining a mailing list. Shame, because this is the ideal scenario. But a lot of people do this on eBay with no problem. Obviously, this is a personal choice that I can't comment on. I will just say that I did this for quite a while before I realized it was against the rules. eBay didn't contact me, and I collected an awful lot of happy subscribers. But you can link to your About Me page, and from there you can link to your home page. This is what the regulations say about it. What links may I have on my About Me page? The About Me policy will allow users to link to your own web store. However, you may not directly offer any non-eBay merchandise on the About Me page itself. I've highlighted the parts that interest us. So the way I read it, from your About Me page you can link to your own web page. And on your own web page you can offer a free ebook in return for signing up to your mailing list. You can also link to your About Me page from your eBay auction. This in effect means you can link your opt-in page on your website. Read that again slowly until you've understood it. It took me a while. There's another way to do it. I recently found this at the bottom of an eBay auction. Terms of sale. I feel everyone should have this information for free, but because eBay does not allow to list items for free, I have no choice but to list it for 0.99p. However, if you ask me question about this item, then I am sure I can sort something out for you. Now, I can't find anything in eBay rules and regulations that say the above isn't allowed. Obviously, this seller is offering this info for free to build his list. Here's how he does it. So, when someone views his site and likes the look of his info, the ebook package he's selling, they click on the Ask Seller a Question button, and he sends them either the ebook as an attachment or details of which website they can download it from. Of course, they must agree to join his opt-in list to get the info, but very few people have a problem with this. Unless you're emailing them every day, and not even then if it's a good offer, they're unlikely to complain. If you really want to stay on the right side of eBay, you'll have to pay some fees, but they'll be very small. I sometimes put together a large package of top quality info that I've bought cheaply or scoured the net for free, and then sold a small e-report for £1 on eBay giving information as to where my customer could download the large package from my website. They buy the e-report and of course it gives them details of where to access my web page to download the large package. As a buyer, their email address then goes onto my list. The other way is just to offer the package from eBay. I list the auction as a buy now type with 100 or more available. If I'm offering a good package for £1, it's not unusual for 80 or 90 to sell over a 10-day period. If you list 4 or 5 auctions, you're taking a lot of names. The main thing is to get those email addresses added to your list. You could easily take 500 names in 2 weeks. Sounds a lot? Look in your address book now. How many of those could you legitimately add to your list, without spamming? When you buy a new PC from PC World or a new pram or digital radio, don't you get emails following up the sale and offering their latest deals? Amazon and eBay do this a lot. Why can't we? In case you're worried, it seems, and again the law is hazy, that if you have a pre-existing business relationship, they've bought off you in the past or have opted into your list, then it seems you're not spamming. Of course, the ultimate responsibility lies with you. It seems that if you keep your customers happy and they know who you are when you email them, then you're less likely to fall foul of any spamming laws. The rewards speak for themselves. The payments arrived in the first half hour. 30 minutes. Selling a package, you've bought it $10 for $1 will get you a lot of names. It's well worth the outlay to offer the kind of quality that will have people happy to opt onto your list. So, we're giving away a free ebook package that directs them to opt in to get more on your website. But how do I set up an opt-in website? Chapter 7, Setting up an opt-in website. Opt-in websites are websites or single pages that ask the visitor if they would like to sign up to a mailing list, usually in return for a free product or offer. Because the visitor has to opt to join the list rather than automatically being added, the end result is called an opt-in list. Most people really don't mind being part of a mailing list. Especially if they're getting something of real value either for joining, or in the form of ongoing special offers after they've joined. So how do you put together an opt-in page with free offer, so you can collect email addresses? Opt-in sites go from the simple and effective to the bells ringing, lights flashing ridiculously complex. This is how I do it. Below is a screenshot for the US version of the Bargain Hunters course. You'll see that at the very top of the page I offer the free digital camera book and a clickable link to the opt-in page. Once they click on the link to get the free book, they're taken to a page that explains what the book contains and how it's great value for a freebie. Below that at the bottom of the page is a simple opt-in option. This is it. The website offered me no less than 2 options to add my email address to their mailing list. The main page, in white, appeared, then the blue pop-up box slid in quietly from the side. This is much more professional than my site, and I have a great deal of respect for the owner of this site. He offers a fantastic product and his is one of the few mailing lists I subscribe to because of the excellent content. But it's not an approach that works for me. I deliberately keep my opt-in page simple and with almost a homemade feel. I do this, after a lot of market research, because people then don't feel like they're signing up to a big mailing list. One customer said, "I felt like I was emailing a mate for a book I wanted." Both approaches are fine. Mine works for me. So how do I know that they'll enter the correct email address and not someone else's just to get the book? It's easy. Set up an autoresponder that sends an email with download instructions automatically to the email address they entered. If they enter a false email address, they don't get the book. This is the email you'll receive if you send for my free ebook. It tells the email address owner that his/her email has been used to try to obtain a free ebook. It gives them an address to report this to if it's a false one. If it's a genuine email, it tells the new subscriber where to download the free book. I also get managed to pop a free ad on the bottom. Again, you don't have to have a web page they can download the free book from. You could use the free ebook share service I have mentioned in this book, or you could just email them the free book as an attachment. Using free giveaways is the best way of building your list in my opinion, but use every chance you get to boost your mailing list. You could put a link at the bottom of all your emails. If you put attachment on every valid email you send, it's not classed as spam and you'd be surprised at how many people will join your list. There are other subjects I'd like to cover. Chapter 8, Buying a List. Some people buy email lists. I've never done this, but it's possibly a short-term solution for you. Sending out emails in bulk. This can be a problem. I have my own hosting provider and they whinge about the sending of bulk emails. When I first started, I sent them through my own email account at AOL. Halfway through the mailing, AOL shut down my account and only reinstated it only after a lot of hassle. But my own hosting provider is better. And I still have to be wary about how many emails I send out in a 24-hour period. For a long time, I couldn't find a way around this, but I've recently signed up with a company that has completely solved all my JV and mailing list problems. I can do unlimited mailings, automatically follow up emails at periods that I allocate. Can put opt-in list forms on my website that are automatically added to my list and customize my emails so they address the customer by name. The biggest blunder I made with my first mailing years ago still makes me cringe. I wrote my email, then put all the email addresses into the to field of the email. I didn't realize that meant that every single person I mailed to could see the whole of mailing list. Of course, a number of people abused this and remailed my list. Put your own email address into the to field. This means that you're not giving out anyone else's address, and it has the added benefit of actually checking that the email is being sent. Put all the other email addresses into the BCC. This means that the people receiving the email can't see who you've sent it to. Simple, but it caught me out. Conclusion. So that's it. I've introduced you to one of the most lucrative undertakings in the whole of internet marketing. If you've never come across this method before, you must try it. If you have come across this method before but not tried it, you must try it. It will change the way you think about money, I guarantee it. Why? Because undertaking a JV mailing opens the window just on internet marketing, just a tiny crack. But it's enough to show you in breathtaking style just how much money is out there to be made. Doing a little preparation work and pressing a send button can bring in thousands of dollars in a matter of hours. More importantly, it destroys in seconds all the rubbish we're spoon-fed from birth about having to work hard for money. Instead, it teaches us we can work smart. There are people in the internet marketing world who don't do anything else. They spend a few months preparing a product. Their whole way of working is geared up to collecting email addresses and building opt-in lists. So, when the preparation work is done, they launch their product to their list. Within 48 hours they have made in excess of $1 million. They don't bother setting up websites or selling on eBay, they just quietly start work on their latest product and adding more addresses to their lists. It's all in the numbers. If I could email 1 million interested people with my latest offer today, I would be a multimillionaire by tomorrow morning. By tomorrow morning. My list contains around 3,000 people. I have websites and sell on eBay, so I don't build my list as well as I should. Actually, that's my New Year's resolution for 2008. Just think of this. If I could build up my list and sell my product for just $16.99 to 15,000 people, only 5 times the size of my list, I could have a list this size in a matter of months. I would make over $250,000 in a couple of days. If you concentrate solely on mailing list JVs with either good eBay sellers with a good list or good eBay sellers with a good product, you could make a lot of money. 1 JV per month, taking just 2 days, could easily bring you $1,000 a month from a small list. If you built your list steadily day by day and at the same time worked with more and more sellers, you could easily bring in $5,000, which would increase every month as your list grows. Then there are the foreign eBay sites. UK/USA JVs are extremely lucrative. A product that sells well in the USA might be unheard of in the UK. Offer it to your list and watch what happens. This is the business I wish I'd tried years ago. I might be working from a Georgian mansion rather than a Yorkshire cottage. I can't urge you enough to not just put this book down. Try it. You'll be amazed at the results. Just think again about your job. How long would it take you to earn $1,000 on top of your current salary? A big bonus? A lot of overtime? Or some well-invested time, working from home, in 24 to 72 hours? Start building your list now. It's another weapon in your arsenal against the job trap. It's easier to work for yourself from home than it is to work at a job. There are two hard parts to making the leap. 1. One of my favorite quotes: never let yourself get into the position where you're too busy earning a living to make any real money. That's exactly what a job does to you. 2. Proving to yourself that you actually can make money from home. The first 100 pounds is the hardest, but it proves it can be done. Hopefully this book will sort out this second problem for you. The first is up to you. Good luck! 21 Strategies for Generating More Traffic. Traffic is more than a list of names that represent people. It's all about healthy flow and activity at your sites, and the sort of activity that not only keeps your business and web presence alive, but really helps your sales grow and grow. And if you haven't yet built your list, you'll need to make sure you drive people to your sites and keep them coming back again with no lags and lulls in the flow. Here are 21 powerful strategies to help you generate a steady stream of healthy traffic. 1. Never use an automated service for search engine site submission. You're wasting your money, and if your SEO submission company indulges in any shady practices, you risk your site being marked and exiled by Google for spamming. The truth is, once your site makes it into the handful of top search engines which happens quickly, if you know how to use keywords and optimize your blog or static site properly, the smaller search engines find out about it anyway. Paying good money is not worth the benefit you might reap from an SEO submission company submitting your sites to smaller search engines proportionately. These smaller search engines stacked against the big guns like Google, MSN and Yahoo are roughly about the size of a flea on a large-sized dog. 2. Think of your headlines as if they were Twitter posts and your opening paragraphs as if they were RSS feed summaries. On Twitter, you've got less than 2 seconds to make people decide if they want to click or pass. It's the same with every sales page, landing page, blog post or article you create. With every headline or opening paragraph, you've barely got 2 seconds to grab your reader's attention and make them curious enough to engage in a single line or two. To get a feel for creating this immediate interest and impact, go look at the summaries for some of your RSS feeds. See which ones feel punchy and make you want to read more and which ones feel dull and incomplete. The ones that feel dull and incomplete will be the ones with the slowest starts. You'll notice that these ones never get around to presenting the hook the summary ends before the author has meandered to the point. So never, ever waste your first paragraph with warm-up stuff. And do put your keyword in your first line and headline, for blog posts and articles. 3. Use long-tailed keywords as your site's page name or blog post permalink. Once you've carefully selected specific long-tailed keywords to use, make sure you carry this through to the post permalink name or page name. Search engines pay attention to titles when they're looking for results on a phrase a reader has inputted for. Use Google Analytics to test your sales or landing pages. It's free and provides complete instructions so that even beginners can use it. And here is a quick, easy way to calculate your conversion rate. If 5 sales resulting from 100 clicks equals 0.50 in your stats, then your conversion rate is 5%. Just use that simple line as a mini template to figure out your own statistics. 5. Only choose one component to test on any page. You won't be able to tell which change produced your new result if you change several components at once. Was it the new graphic? The new header? The new headline? Adding those 2 testimonials? You'll never know, unless you test one change at a time. Focus on your headline this is most often where the trouble lies. Then when you've got that thoroughly tested and the best version decided upon, move on to another page component. 6. Larger sites with more pages or resources command more traffic. It's as simple as that. Search engine bots translate more pages as more value, and so do people who like to visit. Minisites have their place, but if you're going to be using PPC on them, these minisites need to be beefed up for maximum search engines placement. 7. Check your log files to see what keywords are bringing in the most visitors. Do this when you access your cPanel through your File Transfer Protocol (FTP) program to check your web statistics. 8. Be specific when bidding on PPC keywords. Ways to be specific include using size, color, product names, component names, and local area names in your keyword phrases. Using especially shoe store is virtually guaranteed to not only drown you in that bigger general niche, but bring you no local customers. However, if you choose a keyword like a naturalizer AAA shoes Muskogee store, it will hook Muskogee residents browsing the net to find out their nearest shoe store that sells naturalizer brand shoes in AAA width walking through your door in the next 15 minutes, providing you don't actually live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 9. Always use keywords or product names as your link names. Never, ever resort to saying I click here. That is so generic, it lowers the quality of your links in Google's eyes, and you need links coming in from sites that are similar to yours in topic and content. So instead of saying, I for more about creating money with AdSense, click here, I say you'll find more information on this subject by visiting my Creating Money with AdSense page. And speaking of Google, when it comes to websites, be sure to have cross-navigation throughout your site's pages. 10. Be diligent with AdWords when using them for PPC. Use phrase and exact match when picking your keywords in the AdWords key tool. Read the new guidelines and be cautious. If you're new to AdWords, bid on words that have some competition, but not too much for actual advertisers. Your indicator at a glance is the degree to which the little bars are filled with green on the key tool page. As for number of exact global monthly searches, between 1,000 and 9,000 is probably going to be your best range, combined with searches on the same word in quotes, with results under 200,000 in Google and tilde the lower, the better. The strongest keywords should show searches under 50,000. 11. Do use social networking for traffic generation, along with blogging and article marketing. But do remember to adapt your headlines and strategies for each platform and tilde, and always read the guidelines. Each platform has its own unique culture and tilde and rules. Approach each platform by asking yourself the question, what is the best way to use this particular network to generate targeted, pre-qualified traffic and tilde and get me some word of mouth popularity points? I circumflex. 12. Use Twitter even if you use no other social networking platform. The big reason? You can easily and instantly keep track of what brings the most clicks and is best for your traffic increases. By signing up with Bit.ly, it's free, you can use the Bit.ly service to shorten links for your Twitter posts. Monitor the Bit.ly links you've created, which you can easily do by keeping the Bit.ly page open in your browser during your online session, and refreshing it now and then after you've created and posted your link. This is possibly the fastest, simplest and most helpful form of click-through tracking for brand new marketers, and will give you a very good idea of what you're doing right and wrong. 13. Create viral videos, MP3s, special reports and ebooks. Be sure to include content that will specifically benefit any key top marketers you hope to approach as a JV partner. Your content needs to appeal to their list, and yours, as well as enhance their status and reputation. Make use of your competitors in this way, piggyback off their success. If your product is really perfect for their subscribers, they'll be surprisingly happy to cooperate. Promote your viral product offline. 2. Links on your business cards and flyers, and in local newspaper press releases and radio interviews you suggest to local radio show hosts. Ensure that your viral product is exclusive, irresistible, and can only add to your affiliate's expert status. This means ensuring that your viral products are your best products and tilde, not a quickie knock-up of free PLR and tilde which will impress no one except your mom, and she is just pretending. 14. Start your own forum, focused on your best niche. It's a powerful way to generate targeted, highly converting traffic. Forums are a lot of work to moderate and maintain, but if you keep your focus on a specific, narrow area, you are less likely to pick up hundreds of general interest followers that you don't want. You can add a forum to your site using a free script like PHPBB, or you can even just have a private subscription area on your blog. Yes, you will have to interact regularly, but if you know how to get the ball rolling, eventually members become their own little support group and will happily answer questions and provide information to each other before you have time to read the posts. You can then mostly monitor, and only jump in when a word from you or a sign of your presence is needed, or they haven't yet provided themselves with an answer. The payoffs can be high indeed when it comes to generating targeted traffic and tilde, not just on your forum, but with the powerful buzz it will create in the internet marketing community as a whole. 15. Consider using relevant cross-promotions. A cross-promotion occurs when two marketers join up to provide greater value to their mutual, specific niche market. It allows you to share expertise by interviewing each other, audio, video and paper, and sending emails about each other, providing each other, in the eyes of your customers, with extra validation through endorsement. You are also each creating a weighty testimonial for the other, since you are both in the public eye. Both your lists benefit, and with the right partner, it can be inspiring and fun for you as well as your subscribers. It also naturally creates opportunities for a much softer sell, and those who particularly dislike pushing products may find this a great platform to adopt. Some tips for success: pick the right partner, and make sure you both know how all customer service issues are going to be covered and tilde and who is going to cover them. Yoke yourself with an equal. To paraphrase the Bible, you don't want this loosely structured partnership to be too uneven, or else the celebrity is going to swoop off with the bit part player as fans and profits. But by teaming up together, Two-bit part players can make quite a splash on stage, and come close to giving the celebrity a run for his money and siphoning a heavy flow of traffic. 16. Have a highly relevant next offer already waiting in the wings. Book authors and actors know this one. Don't just rest on your laurels after you've got your product out. When you're a hot property because you've just launched a successful product or freebie, that is the very time to have your next offering ready to go, as well as an autoresponder loaded up with a carefully planned series of emails designed to keep you and your subscribers focused. 17. Buy expired domains that have evidence of traffic flow. Very often, these are sites that people set up, but lost interest in or the I've bought a domain name but never did anything with it. How can a domain name with nothing on it draw traffic? That domain name is most likely a powerful keyword. If it relates to your market, and it is one of these phantom domains, snatch it up. If it does that well with no content, what's going to happen when you pack it and optimize it? These expired domains often already have a directory listing in Google or Yahoo. A good place to start your search is at expired domain services in the Yahoo directory. 18. Use Google Web Alerts. This system allows you to monitor Google for specific word or URL mentions. You can have the alerts monitor either your keyword, or a competitor's URL. The information arrives via email summary to your feed or Gmail account. You can choose to receive it weekly, daily, or as it is happening. You can also subscribe to Google News Alerts too, if you need to keep on top of the latest events. If you're monitoring your own URL via Google Alerts, you can see when an affiliate adds it to an online site. The more you track and keep your ear to the wire, the more accurate calls you'll make when deciding on your next traffic increasing campaign. 19. Give a free teleseminar. If you can get up the nerve to do it, giving a free teleseminar is a great way to make an incredibly strong connection with your target market. Be sure to publicize it regularly in advance. Ask people to send you their questions in advance, too, and keep asking in your Twitter tweets, emails, and forum posts till the very last second. People need to hear things several times before it sinks in. Have a couple of friends planted on the call to ask you a question or two at the end, if you can handle unmuting for a Q&A session. It doesn't matter if it is not a sold-out event, the other people on the call will never know they were one of a comparative handful. And at the very least, you can offer the teleseminar recording and transcript as an opt-in freebie or bonus. Even if you are nervous, the big reason you should seriously consider it lies in the fact that hearing your voice speaking directly into the earpiece of the phone will make an incredibly strong personal connection. They won't forget you, and they'll trust you, if you've delivered the goods. 20. Become an instant author, and have a hard copy book to your credit. You may think this idea is startling, but nothing lends you credibility in the eyes of the world like being the published author of a hard copy book. The fact that product fulfillment companies like Lulu or Cafe Press can print these on demand and ship them, with the ISBN number included, makes this a seriously viable option for the single or new marketer. Consider offering it for sale through Amazon.com. 21. Explode the power of e-zine ads. This advertising market is often overlooked, which can be a mistake. Not only are e-zine ads usually much less expensive than any other type of paid advertising, if you put your ad in a highly relevant, targeted e-zine and use it as a viral lead generation tool, rather than a product seller, it can pull in powerful traffic. Give something away through your ad. A special report, ebook, script, graphics package, whatever would have the most impact on your market. Do your best to make it your most appealing freebie, but of course, keep it highly relevant to your niche. Allow other people to pass it around, and make sure your product is laced with links back to you, and a further opt-in offer inside. That way, not only will you increase traffic directly through your e-zine ad, but you'll get even more when your freebie goes viral. Thank you for listening to the 21 strategies for generating more traffic.